Hello everyone, how are we all doing? I've just looked at the chat and the first word I saw was boobs. So let's just set the tone for the stream. Happy Wednesday everyone, it's nice to see everybody in the chitty chat. So we've got Ulrika, hello, how are you? Were you talking about under boobs already? Oh god. It's going to be one of those days. Cal did post up earlier telling she had a bit of sunburn, and she said that her burn was getting better, and I read it as her bum. Yeah, so I think it's just going to be that kind of afternoon, guys. Anyway, I hope you are all well. I wanted to give you a chuckle straight off the bat. I was just checking the cave emails there, and tinkering about with the interwebs. The hillbilly internet has not been behaving today, but we seem to be stable now, so long may that continue. But yeah, so I like to check in on the cave emails and get everything done before we get going, kind of thing. So I received an email about doing a collaboration with someone. Now I get these emails all the time. Most of them are AI generated and or just scattergun type stuff and not relevant. This one tickled me though. It says, and this is the first giveaway, it says, "Hi Colour Cave Gem. If you can't be bothered to find out what my actual name is, I'm not going to pay any attention. I'll show you my t-shirt in a minute. So this gentleman has introduced himself, and he is handling brand collaborations at Optimum Nutrition. I wanted to get in touch because we're looking at a small number of creators to potentially work with over the coming months. Your channel stood out." That's because we talk about boobs and bums a lot, guaranteed. "Particularly the dedication behind training, nutrition and the grind that goes with it." I mean, I know I talk quite a bit about my running, but come on, like, I just can't with this. Like, the world has just gone mad. If you'd like to hear more, well, no, not really. And like, if anybody knows anything about me when it comes to running, number one, I don't take any supplements, and I can't use things like energy gels because my stomach just nopes out when I'm running. I'm the person that eats like stoned dates and raisins when I'm like running around a half marathon. So yeah, that's particularly funny. Anyway, I thought you would enjoy that. This is the high quality correspondence we get here at the cave. I've always said we're consummate professionals. Why stop at the incoming emails, you know? Yeah, okay, so this is, you know how I've got a thing about clothes and I get emotionally attached to things. My boss that I made the poop sticker for at work, she gave me this t-shirt. She is very into camelids, and we used to have llamas, and I'm now, this is like my favourite t-shirt just now because it feels nice on and it fits me. And the t-shirt reads, "The odds of being killed by a llama are low, but never zero." And it's true. You're more likely to be spat at than killed by a llama, but there's always a chance. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Jock's just having a wee rumble about, he's getting himself settled down. Apologies for the running here today. My hair is so dry and the sun has absolutely nuked all the colour out of like basically the top part and the edge. You can see I'm actually like a really weird indigo blue colour, but I'm still very purple underneath. I'm leaving it because at the weekend I'm going to put a deep conditioning treatment on it, and I am going to purplify just this top section that's just really faded in the sun. But yeah, you can see how dry it is. Like I'm kind of like, if I put myself in the pen beside the cows, they'd probably try and start to eat it at this point. Yeah. Hi Mary, how are you? Yeah, the t-shirt is special. I like wearing red as well. I think it's a colour that suits me. That and like a bright green seem to be colours that go well with my complexion, although they maybe don't go with my purple stroke indigo hair. But I like to wear red. I did see the other day, I'm a big fan of Adidas trainers, or Adidas, however you want to pronounce it, and I always used to wear the Superstar shell toes in my youth. I've got a lovely pair of them just now. They've got holographic shiny bits and they're purple. But they've brought out a Mary Jane shoe, and they do a red pair, and I really want them so I can match them up with my red t-shirt. Cal's got a t-shirt that says, "If I was mentally stable and skinny, I'd be unstoppable. You all are lucky I'm chunky and crazy." Chunky. Very good, very nice. So in other news, running's going really well, really happy. I am moving up to 4 runs a week next week, so that's us into big boys and girls territory. I'm also going to do a 5 kilometre time trial on the road. I don't normally run exclusively on the road because I live on a farm, but lots of woodland trails and round the sides of fields and stuff. So I'm going out onto the tarmac and I'm going to run 5 kilometres next week just to see how fast I can actually go. My fitness, and I was just talking to Papa Jem about this on the phone not long before we started here. I don't know, it's happened very suddenly. Normally with these kinds of things, your fitness levels and your performance tend to sort of increase gradually, and mine have just like, it's just gone all of a sudden. I ran not flat out this morning, but I ran hard this morning, and I was faster than the last time I ran the same route, but my heart rate was lower. So that's a really good indicator of your cardiovascular health. So that's really good, but my times are coming down quite quickly, which I'm really surprised about, honestly. I wasn't expecting anything at this point, bearing in mind that I am still like 25 kilos, so like 35, 40 pounds away from where I would be at a race weight. So I'm really pleased with that. My fitness is really improving and I'm starting to feel the benefits of it a wee bit now as well. So that's really good. The thing that has, like, I've just had a hectic June. June was just absolutely bonkers and I'm so glad that it's over. Like, honestly, I've too much people in for a start. But one of the things that I want to do for July, apart from keeping up my running and doing all the bits and bobs, is I want to carve out some time on a daily basis to do some arting. I have been trying to sort of slot it in round things and it's just not happening for me. And yesterday, I was really, really tired yesterday. I had a terrible night's sleep the night before and I just wanted to sit with my sketchbook and like just doodle or something, but I was actually just too tired. Like I just didn't want, I wanted to, but I didn't want to because I was too tired. So I think maybe not every single day, but at least every other day, I want to like try and sort of find a little half-hour slot somewhere. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it in so I can be consistent, but that's something that I really, really want to do because I feel as if I haven't arted much at all, and it's because I haven't arted much at all and I'm really, really missing it. So we're kicking things up a gear in July. We're getting back to where we were business as usual at the cave, so videos and blah de blah, all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff. So that is sort of the plan with that. Other than that, there's not an awful lot going on. It's looking like here that we're going to be harvesting early this year, and I think it's just the hot weather. Our barley is starting to turn already, so it's going from green to that lovely golden colour. That's really early for us. We normally start harvesting in September, but it looks like it's going to be maybe even the beginning of August, so super early. I hate harvest. Y'all know I hate harvest. Least favourite time of the year. So I basically just have to sit and wait and see what happens and kind of just like work around things. So hello Martine, how are you? Yeah, so that's not a welcome thing for me personally, and it is just a personal thing. I hate harvest with the fire of 1,000 suns, and I would gladly take 2 calving seasons over one harvest. There's so many things that make it stressful, and I'm not even directly involved in it. But I'm not looking forward to it. I want it to go away and leave me alone. But unfortunately, where we are, the majority of our farm is in fact crop. It is not livestock. So it's going to happen whether I like it or not. It really is. It really is. So yeah, there's that. Jan's got fields with bales in them. Are those silage bales though, or hay bales? I don't think they'll be crop bales at this point, unless I'm trying to think what you would bale what you would harvest to bale at this time of year. I think it's probably hay or silage. If it's silage, it'll get wrapped in bin bags, for want of a better phrase. The fields near us are all now bare, looking rather dry. Yeah, they'll have been cut for silage. So they're doing grass fields that have been cut. And for the uninitiated, what we do is we let the grass grow long and then we cut it and we bale it and wrap it. So basically it causes anaerobic reactions and it starts to ferment. And we use that for cattle feed in the winter. So I love the fact you think I know. No bin bags. It's probably hay then. So the difference between silage and hay, because hay is just grass, but hay is left to dry out much more, whereas with silage you want to keep that moisture in, so you don't leave it too long on the ground after you've cut it before you bale it and wrap it, because basically you're keeping all the good nutrients and everything in for your cows. And then in the winter time you can pop that open, give it to your cows, and they're getting nummy nutrition with all the good stuff in it. So yeah, that's how that works. There endeth your farming lesson for today. You also get haylage as well, which is halfway between hay and silage, unsurprisingly. You would wrap haylage, but it's basically a much drier forage. And again, depending on the nutritional balance of what you're feeding your cows in the winter, because you can't just give, well, I mean, technically you can just give them silage, but we'll not go down that rabbit hole. But yes, you can have like somewhere in the middle. The good thing about having haylage is because it has a higher dry matter content, you're less likely to have bacteria and mold and things that grow in it. So, but if your bales are wrapped properly and they are completely airtight, you shouldn't have any of that. We have to go into Essex for farms here. Try not to go into Essex. Oh, hi Hat, how are you? You've just missed a lesson on cattle forage. You've not missed anything. Oh, we've got Patty as well. Hey, Patty. It's all good, clean fun. It's great. Oh dear. I'm just looking at our internet connection here. This isn't going to go well at all, I don't think. We'll see how it goes. I have lots of liquid around me. I am extremely dehydrated. I can't. Normally I drink the still Vimto that you put water in, and I got some Ribena, but it's a summer fruits Ribena, and I keep forgetting, and I'm like, and I can't decide whether I like it or not. I mean, it's pleasant enough, but yeah. I'm involved with horses, so no more on the eating of its side than growing. Well, the other thing as well is horses are hindgut digesters. They're not ruminants, so their digestive system is slightly different to a cow. Kind of the same, but not really. Yeah. How did your kelpies go? I tried them mainly like a llama and a wolf. I haven't touched it. I was just saying there that June was just ridiculous, and I'm glad that it's over. And I am looking to actively carve out some time to art and do things and whatnot for the later joiners. Yeah. The odds of being killed by a llama are low, but never zero. This is, I don't know whether this is like a ninja llama or like a scary llama. Anyway, right, okay, so let's get down to some business. In the cave sense, obviously, for our work in progress Wednesday. So I have our tiny fairy mug here. And this has had a second coat of so we're just literally picking up from where we left off last time. It's had a second coat of this raw umber acrylic paint that we used last time. And there's this little bear, so you can see the difference that a second coat has made. And I think this has helped with adhesion just because the paint will naturally stick better to itself than perhaps this plastic that Papa Gem has 3D printed this in. It's also kind of taken away that the actual print texture, because so this prints from the bottom up, so it prints in layers up the way, and you can see quite a lot of those manufacturing lines there, but that with that second layer of paint, that has really taken that away for the most part. There's a few spots where you can still see it. Here it's quite prominent here. I don't know how well you can see that there, but the second coat has definitely made a difference. So I'm going to just do this, excuse me, hiccup. Oh, there it is. I'm just going to put a second layer on there. So what I need from you, chat, is you now have to make the executive decision about what colour you want this door. My thoughts are, at the wedding that I attended, which was lovely, it was great fun, I was rocking some fuchsia. I kind of want a bright pink door, so I don't know how you all feel about that. Yellow was another really popular choice. So If you have thoughts on that, if you still want a yellow door, I'm totally up for it. If you want pink door, then speak up now. And we'll crack on with that once I have finished this last little bit. So just splodging this out into my Julia palette. 40 degrees C. None of that. It's lovely here today. It's like 17 or 18 degrees, which is perfect Scottish person summer weather. Nobody's going to die. I'm going to have to put my glasses on as well so that I can see the itty bitty bits. It's your pot though if you want fuchsia, you do that. Green door, we can sing along, but fuchsia is fine. I feel like it shouldn't be a green door just because the previous painting in the green door, which isn't a green door, but it is kind of a door, it's actually a gate, but it's not green anymore. I think we've kind of exhausted the green. I would go yellow over green. Thea is thankful for storms. Yeah, you've had some pretty unbearable temperatures, haven't you, Thea? That has been a thing. I don't envy you. See, that this is like the one time of year when the weather starts to get like super crazy like this. I'm very thankful that I'm in Scotland. We complain like the other 98% of the time about the weather, because it is very changeable and it's usually quite wet. But at this precise moment, we are extremely happy about our weather. Miri's got 20. That's much more manageable, isn't it, Miri? Much, much more manageable, much more sensible. See, Patty's basically got double what you've got. It was beyond disgusting. I mean, there was one day we got up to 27 and I was just like, absolutely not. Like, I'm not even going outside in that. Don't be silly. Again, though, you've got to remember that us Scots, we're not acclimatised to those temperatures at all, and it is extremely humid here. I was telling the guys in the Discord last week, last Friday, I went for a run quite early in the morning. It was like 6 or 7 in the morning, so it was reasonably early, but it was only like 18 or 19 degrees outside, but the humidity was at 94%, and that is the hardest slow 4 and a bit miles I have ever run in my life. I was absolutely soaked within minutes, and it was difficult. Like, I had to work really hard just to like get myself round, let alone anything else, and it absolutely sucked the life out of me. I was extremely fatigued for a good couple hours afterwards, and I'm pretty good at making sure I get like proper nutrition in me. Not in the collaboration email sense, like proper food. And making sure I'm taking on board plenty of fluids. The nice thing is that Garmin, so my watch is a Garmin and I have the associated app, etc. Because they've got all my statistics and obviously been running quite consistently now for a couple of months, they give you an estimated fluid loss, through sweat. And that day it was estimating that I lost nearly 2 litres of fluid just from exertion in my run, so that's obscene. I drank so much, like I was almost like sloshing about. Oh, Cal had a flyer advertising British Gas's new aircon installation quotes. Well, aren't they just capitalising? The paint, it's just the Winsor Newton Galleria or Galleria. It doesn't have 2 L's in it. It's not Galleria. Galleria acrylic paint. This is what I was saying earlier, Green Hat. Like you can see the first layer didn't really stick all that well, but the second layer is pretty good. It'll also depend on what filament it was actually used for the 3D printing, because there's loads of different ones. I should really ask Papa Jem what in fact, let's just do that right now. Let's send Papa Jem a text, see if he texts me back. I'm pretty sure it was PLA used. Which is a plant-based filament, and when it's actually, when it warms up, because obviously the filament heats up and goes melty, and that's how it does what it does, it actually smells sweet, and it's much better for your lungs and stuff. Not when you're 3D printing though, it's in a, and you know, obviously it's contained, it's not quite as dangerous to the human lungs, but you really can tell the difference. ABS is one of the other ones that's used, and I think it's like chemical compounds, and you get a lot of really like noxious chemically fumes off it. Again, it smells, let me just ask him, what type of filament did you print? The fairy mug. I'm almost sure it was PLA. But yeah, my point is though that different plastics will have different adhesion characteristics for things like paint. No primer, nope. Didn't sand it, didn't do anything, Green Hat, just slapped it on. And it's, I mean, it's going relatively well here. Got this little bit here, looks a wee bit bold. Again, this is just the base colour though, because I want to do some sort of dry brushing and get some texture and stuff in. PLA plus. I don't know what the plus means, but there you go. So I was right. Yeah. Might have to do a wee bit of Googling, Green Hat. The markers just spread everywhere through the filament lines. Well, to be fair, I'm finding I'm getting on better by just using the paint neat. The first layer I did water it down a wee bit. There was a tiny bit of water in it. But again, we're at the point now where the paint's sticking to itself, so there's that also. I've had a care home leaflet today as well, Jan, if that makes you feel any better. I don't know why. We found out recently with our energy provider that we are on the vulnerable persons list, you know, for when the power goes out. And I thought it was to do with the farm, with the cattle, because obviously we have animals, so there's stuff like that. But it's usually with the water company, with Scottish Water, because obviously our animals need water. But I don't know whether it was maybe from the old estate manager that was here before us. Maybe he had a relative or something. I don't know. But anyway, I told them to take us off. It was like, there's people that actually need help. We are not one of those people. Do not waste your time with us. We're very self-sufficient. You know, like we stitch limbs back on and stuff without going to a hospital. We're not vulnerable, we're good. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna let that dry for a wee minute. Pick out a yellow. Yeah, you've got insulin in the fridge, yeah. I can't even remember the name of that care home. I actually thought it was like a hotel leaflet, because it was like rooms with frilly curtains and stuff, and they're right into the, like, see the country, like the good Scottish country hotel. The curtains are either frilly and flowery or they're tartan, like there's no other options. And then I realised it wasn't a hotel, it was for a care home, and I'm like, why is this through my door? Yeah, well, we just have no reason to be on that list. You know. Oh, Papa Jeb's even given me the name of the company that he bought the filament from. Okay, we're not that interested, Papa Jeb, thank you. At least he responded though, that was pretty good. Right, okay. Let's find some yellow, shall we? I want to look in. I call this the wee basket because it's got all the wee tubes in it. The other one, unimaginatively referred to as the big basket. It's got these kind of size tubes in, and the Winsor & Newton ones as well. So I like to kind of pick through the wee basket first. I don't know. Well, I've got Azo Yellow Light, which is the Van Gogh one. That's actually quite a big. That's about as big as we get for the wee basket. Thanks, Papa Jim. I don't think I've got. Oh, I've got Offensive. offensive yellow. I've got a fluorescent one. I don't think we want a fluorescent door. That's just... I hate that the camera doesn't show how offensive these colours are. Like, it really annoys me. I've got good old cadmium yellow. There doesn't seem to be much left in that. I think I might go for that just on the basis that I know how this paint brand behaves on the plastic. So that might be an idea. Yeah, Cal, that makes sense. Offensive pink door. I do have offensive pink as well. Do we want pink? Right, let gag reflex yellow. Right, I don't know if I dare start this or not because I've got a kind of like an adverse reaction to polls after the last time, but let's do it. Oh. Yellow. Other hands pink. Oh, you guys. Right, there we go. Just vote in the poll. You can put me out my misery. Okay, so I suppose I better look for... Well, I've got this the permanent rose. I think I do actually have a smaller one of these. I don't need this massive one. Again, I've got a wee tube of it here. I think these came in it was like a starter set for acrylic. So I've had these a long time. So we might as well use it up if that's the colour we're going to go. Oh, we're going pink. You guys are you never cease to amaze me, but this is why I like doing stuff like this on a live stream. Do you want to see the thing is it looks red. It's the camera just does not show it well at all. Oh God, I can't get rid of it. When I splodge this out, it is like almost like a fuchsia colour. It does look really red on the camera though. It is much fuchsia-ater. Ha! If it's offensive, right, okay, we're gonna go pink. We'll go pink. Ah, you guys surprise me so much. Ah, right, pink it is. That's fine. Neon pink, 87%. Overwhelming majority. I need to get myself a wee bit of kitchen paper. Papier. Yeah, on camera it looks like my t-shirt. I know, right? I have fiddled with every single goddamn setting on this camera and I just can't. It just seems to want to over... I was looking for a weenier brush, but my weeniest brush is like almost non-existent. But I might need it for in here though. I'm a try anyway. So this is one of the Artful brushes, a 5/0. This is very much a detail brush, but I've got doorknobs and all sorts to go around here. And I am so glad I've got my glasses on right now. I really want to sit this down just to steady my hand, but I don't know how well you'll be able to see that. Let me just put the manual focus on first of all. It's probably a combination. See, my internet has not been... I mean, it's been usable today, and I mean that in the most basic of senses. You know, it hasn't actually gone off at any point, but the speeds and everything have been up and down like a yo-yo, and it's been like that all day. So I'm terribly sorry. I've probably contributed to that. Although everything seems to be okay at my end for now. My frame rate drop is minimal. So and maybe it's your Austrian storms as well. It's like a combination of factors. Right, this is going to be really slow going. I don't know how entertaining this will be as far as viewing goes, but I want to try and make a good job of this. I mean, this really isn't my forte, given that I've got a dodgy hand. This is probably one of the worst activities I could ever do. But I would like to think that my painting and paintbrush skills are developed enough that I would be able to counteract some of the dodgy handness by now. We shall see. Oh, this is tight, my goodness. This is one of these ones where I have to hold my breath a wee bit. I've already made a boo-boo. I don't think this is going to go well, guys. It does look a bit pinkier than my t-shirt though, doesn't it? Semi-AFK. Time to keep an eye out for the boy. Okay, Cal. Well, we'll see you when we see you. Pop him in out as and when. You know, it's always a very casual state of affairs here. That's what Wednesdays are for. So yeah, just speaking of the live streams then, we do have a Friday night. Oh, balls. We do have a Friday night live stream planned for the end of the month. I do not have any particular content in mind for that live stream. And I would be open to suggestions of anything that you might like to see in that live stream. So if you have any thoughts, or maybe something that we've not done for a while that you like, or something like that, please feel free to speak up in the chat and let me know. I've just left it open-ended, and you know that I really enjoy having the input from everyone. It's one of my favourite things about live streaming, honestly. Because we always end up coming out with some absolute crackers. So I would love to hear from you if you have any thoughts on that. Definitely pink ear. Pink ear. Yeah, pink ear. Oh, okay, sticker design. Okay. Yeah, we've not done that for a while too. Well, the thing is, in one of the streams, I think it must be the early bird stream, we're going to start designing some of the Mildred holiday stickers or vacation stickers. So maybe that's not. I don't want to say not the best suggestion because that sounds horrible, Thea, but you know what I mean. We'll already be kind of doing some of that prior to that Friday night stream. I don't know what Amazon want now. Just go away. Leave me alone, Amazon. I didn't say her name because she'll start trying to talk to me. And I might set off everyone else's as well, because that seems to happen quite a lot. You've not done a page in your crafty book for a while. Oh, like my what's its face? Yeah, like scrapbooking. Use that term loosely. Is that what you mean, Miri? A summer one, yeah. I would be up for that. Well, interestingly, I have one of my many receptacles that just float about and generally don't have an actual purpose in the cave. I've got one over beside the packing station there for the shop orders, and if I come across scraps or whatever while I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing, I just pop them into that tin. And I was kind of thinking, I was going to do it as a video though, right enough, but I was kind of thinking I would pull all them out and try and put a page together based on the supplies that were, the scraps that were there. So that might be an idea. In case none of you have noticed, Papa Jem is in the chat. I don't know how many of you will get this joke. Papa Jem makes window blinds. That's his main income source. And he's asking if I'm going to paint roller blinds in the windows. No, Papa Jem, I'm not, because there's nothing to paint them on. There's just a window frame. Will I make tiny ones? Would you like that, Dad? That's funny. They've got holes in them. There's no windows to paint them on. That would be really cute if there was though. Like paint like tiny little Tiny little window blinds. I'll turn this around a little bit. Ooh, with clay. Okay, there. I think if we made a bigger one, because we had the option to scale this up or down. Papa Jem did ask me if I did want a bigger one, and I said no because like the size is kind of like half of the reason that it's cute. If we did a bigger one, we could totally have made them some little blinds. It wouldn't be very practical if you wanted to use it as a receptacle though. Although with the curve of it, I think you can get away with that. Look at all this interesting conversation that's coming out of this. It's actually easier to hold it on the inside, and because I can turn it better, like I can rotate it better this way than like holding on to the outside or the handle. The handle's pretty good though, it's fairly convenient. Oh, I need window blinds recommendations. Well, I can tell you for certain that you're a wee bit far away, Green Hat, for Papa Jem to come and do them for you. And I think Papa Jem will tell you who not to go with. You need A scallops. Again, another in-joke that no one else will get. Oh, yeah, A scallops would be perfect, Dad. I think you're absolutely right. So, yeah, Dad, tell Green Hat who not to buy our blinds from. All you need to know is that she's down south. As in not in Scotland. Right, there's two knobs. I don't know I don't know how I'm gonna get around this. Oh, this is gonna be hellish. I need to put paint in there, like I have to. Oh no. How? What? One knob is emerging. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ah, jeez. Right, okay. God, this is hard work. I really want sparkly, like, metallic paint for the doorknobs and the hinges on this. I could put a tiny blind on that window. If and when we ever get there. Yeah, this is like nightmare fuel here. The good thing is, and this is the really nice thing about using acrylic paint, just because of its opacity, if we make a boo-boo, so I've caught the frame there on the side of that little window, we can just paint over the top of it. It's just not an issue. And this is one of the reasons why I always say for painting as in on a flat surface, I think acrylic paint is underrated. Like I really, really do. It's very forgiving. It's a bit easier to work with than gouache as well, just in terms of consistency. And I think a lot of the time it doesn't get enough credit. And it's really cheap as well. You can get good acrylic paint really cheap. I'm going to try and... I don't know, this is a terrible idea. Try and squish that in there a little bit more. Yeah! Right, so you can see the hinges on the door now. I think what I would like to do is incorporate this colour in somewhere else. I don't think I want to use it for the toadstools, but we've got these weird vines that clearly have leaves on them. I was looking for some sort of foliage. This might be a flower here. I don't know. I think it's probably more like moss or like lichen or something. We've got some stones. The question is, where do we put it? I think this part here. And I think that's the only part I'm going to have to put it. Hi, Purple. Nice to see you. For everyone else, Purple is my neighbour in inverted commas. She lives in the next county over, kind of. So that means she's my neighbour. You're not that late. We're only half an hour in. You're here right on time. I'm off to print a massive one and mug of me. No, I'm not. Love Papa Jem coming in with the knob jokes. Okay, Dad, thanks for popping in. We will see you maybe another time. I'm always slightly unsettled when my family members are in the live stream. Like I don't like it. And when I was away on my gallivanting during last month, I went to see my brother and his wife and my nibblings. And my brother told me that he sometimes has the Wednesday stream on in the background, and I'm like, that's really creepy. But he said, it's just like, it's, like being in the room because, we're very conversational here and back and forth on one thing or another. But it just makes me slightly uncomfortable. To be fair though, like I will say my brother's probably more inappropriate than me, so I'm not going to say anything that's going to like offend him or anything. But just knowing that your family members are like watching you, it's like, I don't know if I like that or not. It's a bit weird. It's nice at the same time though. Like, how many people can say that their dad pops into their live stream and makes knob jokes? Not very many. Oh lordy. But this is why we're loving life. Like, we've got to enjoy these things. I've just decided I'm making this into a flower, whether it's actually a flower or not, I'm making it into a flower. Oh, Thea can smell rain. Yes, I'm so excited for you, Thea. Hopefully that's going to clear things out for you a bit and get you out of that stifling, horrible, muggy, sticky unbearableness that you've been in. I would like that for you very much. The problem is here that when that happens, it makes all the cow poo smells come to life. which is it's not quite as pleasant. I like it when it hits the tarmac. See when rain hits the hot tarmac. I love that smell. It's a really nice smell. Right into that. Hi neighbour. On annual leave this week. Ooh. Oh, the Skull Viking ship page. Oh, I like that page. That was one of the ones I was eyeballing. I actually love that book. So that's Purple is talking about Kirby Rosanna's Worlds Within Worlds. We've done a couple of pages in that now. We did the shoe shops, and we did the sloth with the hanging village. Just as a book generally, it's one of those books that I flick through and there's a lot of pages where I'm going, oh, I'd really like to colour that. Oh, I'd really like to colour that. Full kilt get up with sparkly bum bags full of petals. Oh right, wait a minute. I missed something. Yeah, oh, I saw that video, Cal. That's honestly fairly standard. Fairly standard. The wedding that we were at was over the border, so we're quite close to the English border here. Because the border, if you look at the map, it goes at like an angle like that. So we're like up here. So we're still further north than the southwest coast of Scotland. We're substantially further north, but it doesn't take us long to get over the border. And the best joke that the English gentleman in inverted commas could come out with is, oh, look at these guys in their skirts. I was like, oh, you're so original, like come up with something else, you absolute bellend. Now the interesting thing as well is Mr. Jem had a kilt on. He is English. He was born in England, but his dad is Irish, so he actually has like an Irish clan tartan. So he's technically more entitled to a kilt than I am. But he likes wearing a kilt, and now that he feels like it's socially acceptable, because there was a point where he wouldn't wear one, and I'm like, absolutely, like we want everyone to wear kilts. That's like his go-to now. And I just found it really interesting that some of the English people that were at that wedding, that was the best joke they could come out with to like poke fun at those of us who had come from Scotland. I was just like kind of like sitting rolling my eyes. I was like, oh, you're so original. Hello Europa, how are you? Petrichor is the name of that smell of rain on hot pavement. Yeah, you also, Cal, in that video, you forgot to mention the fact that they're dancing. Like, they're actually dancing and they're, like, giving it, like, the twerking and everything and flinging petals with lots of flourishes. They're hilarious. They're really, really funny. it's good enough for Samuel Jackson. The thing is, like, we always embrace, like, if we see people, especially if it's their first time wearing a kilt or their first time wanting to wear a kilt, we're like, we'll help you, we'll sort you out, we'll help you put it on, we'll fix you, you're gonna love it. You have to do the twirly thing and you have to learn the associated steps to keep yourself cool, because they are made of wool and they are very, very thick and they are very, very heavy. So if you are in especially a summer wedding, you get warm very, very quickly. And it's one of the reasons why we talk about a true Scotsman. A true Scotsman does not wear any underwear, and it's to allow the airflow. And basically you birl about, like you twirl round and you kind of like waggle your bum about, and lunges is another favourite as well. And it's a standing joke, like it's all in good fun, but it actually has a purpose, because otherwise you get extremely uncomfortable. Not that I have any male appendages, but they're incredibly good fun to dance in as well, because they're pleated all round the back, so when you twirl round, you like everything fans out, like whee, and you look pretty. Love a kilt, absolutely love a kilt. Right, okie dokie. I don't know, I don't want to put another coat on that. This is drying, which is nice. So I think what I would like to do now is leave that alone. See, we'll make that look more like a flower in due course. I feel like there's going to be a lot of refining going on here, you know, with that tiny brush. There's going to be lots of minute details. Who doesn't enjoy twirling around in a skirt that fans out nicely? Well, this is the thing, and the guys are finding this out, and they've been missing out. Like, it's like, absolutely, there's lots of fun to be had. Right, okay, so I want to grab, turn this way, I don't know how well this is going to go down, the Liquitex red oxide. I want to grab that, and there was another colour I saw in here. Excuse me, I'll have a bit of a dig about. Yellow ochre. I'm going to use I was going to use the cadmium red on the mushrooms and make them into like sort of traditional dotty toadstools, but now that we've got pink, I don't think that's such a good idea. I think I'll leave that just now. Just leave that alone. You did spell it right. Yes, ceilidh dancing is a unique skill that we are taught from primary school age, so like under 12, and and it's always at Christmas time, so we have our Christmas dance, which is basically all ceilidh dancing. So for like maybe 2 months up to Christmas, instead of having like a traditional PE or gym lesson, we do Scottish country dancing, so you learn all the dances. And I don't know what it is, but it must just tap into like the lizard brain, because even like 20 or 30 years later, the minute you start doing it, you remember all of it. We actually, at that wedding we were at, the DJ played a Scottish jig reel so that we could do the Gay Gordons, because there was enough Scottish people there. So the Scottish people take an English person as a partner and lead them regardless of whether you're male or female. But the dances are all, like, once you know the sequence, they're all really simple. Most of them don't have a lot of complicated steps, and it's just really, really good fun. But ceilidhs are, they're sort of an integral part of Scottish weddings. At my wedding, I had a small ceilidh section because half of the people that were there were English, which is obviously Mr. James' side. And that's what we did. We paired up a Scottish person with a non-Scottish person, and the Scottish person showed them how to do it. It was great fun. Colour Cave blue turquoise for the mushrooms, like that. And see if you get right into the swing of things with your ceilidh dancing, you're knackered when you finished, and that's the way you should be. You should be soaking in sweat and absolutely, as we would say, blowing out your hoop. It's a really good workout. You've just got to watch your toes though, because a lot of places, unless you have a lot of room, you're going to be backed up with other couples. I went to a dinner dance, so the couple that we travelled down with, so this is one of Mr. Jem's close friends. This is the yellow ochre in case anyone's interested. he he's very tall. He's 6'5". He's a big teddy bear. And we went to a dinner dance, and him and I did the Gay Gordons. And when I say he was flinging me round, everyone stands in a circle. So you're paired up. So you're in a couple, and you all face the same direction round in a circle. And there's a part where you have to spin the lady. And as a lady, when you're doing the Gay Gordons, you can get very dizzy very quickly. And my friend was exiting out to the outer side of the circle so that he could go twice as fast and bypass everyone and keep spinning me round. And it got to a point where like the room was spinning, and I was like, you're gonna have to stop for a minute because I think I'm gonna fall over or throw up. But incredibly good fun. Really, really good fun. Yeah, all the Scottish people grabbed English people for dancing. It's so good. Right, I'm going to go for the frames now. And I'm going to start with this yellow ochre colour. Again, just going for like a base colour here. I think the magic in this is going to come in, you know, the devil is in the detail. But I would like to get, like, I'm just going to go in the principle of, I think there should be 2 layers of whatever base colour we've chosen, just to give us that nice coverage. And it means I can tidy up my boo-boos as well. Our last family wedding had shotguns and cheese and motorbike exhausts. Okay. That sounds like a fun wedding. The venue that we were at was extremely expensive. And I wasn't over enamoured with the drinks choices. There was no Guinness, which in itself is a bit of a letdown. Not that I drink Guinness, but a lot of people I know drink Guinness. And I asked for, they told me they had Peroni in bottles, which is one of the few beers that my stomach will tolerate. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a bottle of Peroni. So this was like right at the start when we arrived. And they handed me the bottle, and it was gluten-free Peroni. And I just looked at the barman and I was like, are you kidding? And he was like, no. And I said, well, you could have told me it was gluten-free, because he'd opened it, obviously, and handed it to me. I was like, if I'd known that, I would never have asked for it. And they were charging an absolute fortune for it. And I was like, I am not drinking that. So I ended up switching to Sol, which is, it's bearable taste-wise, but again, my stomach doesn't tolerate a lot of beers now. I paid for that the next day. And it was Diet Coke as well, so I really don't like Diet Coke. So I really wasn't up for the Jack Daniels situation, so it was kind of like a lesser of 2 evils, and paid absolutely through the nose. At one point I bought a round, I can't remember what was actually in the round, but it was like, I think it was like 4 or 5 drinks. It wasn't any more than that. And the round was £48.70. It's funny how I remember that though, isn't it? And I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. So I was nearly bankrupt after that, bearing in mind that, again, being Scottish, like, we can drink. Like, we can drink. And although my drinking muscle isn't exercised nearly as often as it used to be, I've still got the capacity for it. And I mean, that was like a 14-hour shift. Like, I think we did quite well, honestly. But again, this is another thing. This is going to sound really horrible. I don't mean it like this, but our English counterparts, yes, we have a big alcohol culture generally in the UK, but for some reason our English counterparts think that they can keep up and or outdrink us. Number one, it's not a competition, but secondly, we are just naturally predisposed to it. There is no point in trying to keep up or outdrink us. There's no benefit to be had for that. But it's like seals being able to like go underwater. It comes naturally to us. We just do it. And I hate this stupid It's like juvenile rivalry when it comes to like, oh, well, you're doing that, you've got to have a shot. And I'm like, ugh, really don't want a shot, but come on. Don't know what you think it's going to do, but all right. And I never, ever, ever drink shots, and I drank shots that night. And let's just say it wasn't me that fell in a bush at the end of the night. But I tell you what, see the next morning, oh my goodness, I was so tired. Like, I was super tired. My stomach was a bit grumbly because I'd been drinking beer, which was self-inflicted, that was not my fault. But I was so tired. I was like, yeah, definitely not cut out for doing this. And I think about it, I used to do that like 4 nights a week. I used to go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe not drink quite that much, but that was a regular occurrence for me in my 20s. Now I'm like, oh no, I needed like a 3-day rest after that. I was like, I'm not doing that again. For me though was the couple that were getting married. They have a wee boy, and he is a toddler, and he was part of the ceremony, and he absolutely stole the show. He was just absolutely adorable. It was fabulous. That was my favourite part. He was also very dapper. So the groom's party were wearing like a tweed outfit, but it was a light tweed, like I would call it a summer tweed. And little man had his on too, and he was just absolutely adorable. One of our other friends that we met down there, his little boy was in a kilt as well. Love seeing little kids in a kilt. So cute. I got labelled as an honorary Scottish person at the last wedding I went to. As his last English person. Yes! An honour indeed. The thing that makes me laugh is, I mean, you've got to remember the the social circles that Mr. Jem travels in. Um, Men that like to go shooting. So it's a very specific type of person. There's a lot of bravado and masculinity and testosterone kicking about. And the thing that made me laugh was at the start of the event, there was a few people that I didn't know. So there were some people that I was meeting for the first time. And I'm looking at everyone and watching, not like in a stalkery way, but just like observing, because that's what I do. And just looking at the rate of which they were drinking alcohol. And I was looking at probably about 60% of them, and I'm thinking to myself, you're going to be absolutely arsehole by the end of this. Like, you're not going to be able to stand up. And I was right. Like, I was absolutely right. Like, it's silly boys. But anyway, yeah, we had a really good time, so I wouldn't want to have to do it again anytime soon, though, to be fair. I'm definitely all peopled out now for a wee while. Obviously, doing a WIP Wednesday live stream is not the same thing at all. You guys are like sociable, but you're at the right distance. And I know that some of you feel the same as well. Right, that's not bad. That I managed that a little bit more accurately than I thought I would. It just wasn't quite as finicky as some of the other bits. I need to get these windows to I'm looking just to make sure there isn't anything else. No, it's just the window frames. Okay, let's do that then. Jamie was a psycho. But that, to be fair, that's the downside. Like, there's a lot of it about. That's a thing. you can't you can't be the way that we are and not have a lot of nutcases. Like, it's almost inevitable. That's I was watching I know we talked a little bit last time about the World Cup. I am extremely proud of how our citizens have carried themselves through their very short-lived World Cup. Because although we're rowdy and all the rest of it, and there's always far too much booze involved, for what other people would consider to be normal. Everyone has been respectful. There was a few incidents. There's always going to be a few incidents, but generally the Tartan Army carried themselves extremely well. And that's the thing. Just as a nation, and I'm generalising greatly here, as a nation, we are extremely friendly people. We like to have a good time. We'll tell it like it is though, and we'll put you in your place if you start messing about. Like we don't put up with any rubbish from anyone. But I think for the most part, not so much in Miami, which again I expected, and there was no surprises there. But generally, we were very well received as a country in terms of football fans for the World Cup, and I think we did a sterling job. Oh, that's nice to hear, Ulrika. Well, again, we're really friendly people. Like, I'll talk to anybody at a wedding. But I'll talk to anyone anyway, to be fair. And I don't like seeing other people like being left out or feeling uncomfortable. See if we're at something like that and someone's like a fish out of water, I will go and talk to that person. Like I will absolutely do that. That's the person that I am. And that's, I talk about being an ambivert. I really, really am. And I actually find it really difficult to watch someone else being uncomfortable in those kind of situations. So, yeah. But we are generally, again, as a nation, we're very friendly people and we will strike up a conversation with anyone. Again, I think that's just kind of like, it's just part of our DNA. That's a good way to put it. We're very direct. We are very direct, and some people can find it quite offensive. And I understand why, especially Glaswegians. Glaswegians do not mince their words, and they can come across as like borderline offensive sometimes. But you always know where you stand with people. That's the good thing. But we are very friendly. And I would say again, having lived on the East Coast for a substantial amount of time now, and lived in a fair few places in Scotland, the West Coast and Glasgow are definitely the friendliest. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm from the West Coast, so not biased, honestly. But yeah, I see quite a cultural shift between the East and the West in terms of that. And it's not that East Coasters aren't friendly, they're just not as friendly. It's like on a scale. Well, and yeah, that is very true, Cal. We are, but if you want to FAFO, then you'll know all about it as well, because we'll not put up with any nonsense. I think this was a good colour choice for this. I don't know how I'm going to do that window frame. I'm a wee bit scared of that, but we'll worry about that later. I just want to try and, I'm like, how do I manoeuvre this now? I'm like, oh. I'm going to have to take a wee break soon because my hand's starting to get tired. My hand's been pretty, my hand's been pretty good. Again, just because the weather's been very mild. It's been minimally crampy. So no warm up or anything required, but see, holding this position, that in particular, anything that involves the squeezing of the fingers, that like my hand fatigues quite quickly, and that's kind of the stage that I'm getting to. See these parts under here, I don't know what they're supposed to be. They're not straight because I thought they were like struts or supports for the window frame. They're not. I could make them into like vines or something. Do I paint them this colour? I don't know. Let's paint them this colour just now. They kind of look like little vampire teeth hanging down, don't they? Rar. Dinosaur teeth. I'll pop that in there just now. Ooh. Right. Let's I don't think I want to tackle this window just now. Oh, regrets. Oh, can you guys even see that paint in there? It's so small. I had a total 80s flashback the other day. Saw a bunch of Count Duckula stuff on TV. Count Duckula. Do you know what's really funny? If you're into Count Duckula, I make a reference to that all the time and nobody ever gets it. See if like the someone's at the door or the phone rings or like the buzzer goes off in the oven, I get up and go, "Oh, I'll get it," and just wander through, and nobody ever gets that reference. And it is a Count Duckula reference. God, I haven't seen that in a long time. Long, long time. Oh, I don't know if I can get that in there or not. I might have to go back to the weeny teeny weeny brush. Jock's starting to snore. Not that you can hear him yet. Maybe they were sports struts but went wonky. Possibly. Possibly. Oh my goodness. This is going far better than I thought it would. I shouldn't speak too soon. I don't know how I'm going to finesse that inside edge though. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to have to get the teeny tiny brush out for yeah, you can't even see what I'm doing. For the inside edge, like so where the window pane is, because that is solid. It's not open to the inside of the mug. Good lord. There isn't even a defined edge on the inside, like as in a printed edge. So I basically just have to make it up as I go along. Which, when we're on paper, that's fine. I'm kind of good at that, but yeah. Oh, that's not bad. Quit while you're ahead, Jim. Right, I'm just going to get this last... Oh, I've missed a bit in the brown as well. Oh, jeez. I'll get that after. I'm going to do this last window frame and then I'm going to take a wee break, give my hand a rest, go and flap my arms about a bit, maybe go to the bathroom. Mossy bit. I think we should make them into mossy bits, shouldn't we? I think that would probably be the most sensible thing to do. I think this is a great colour to go against the dark wood background. It just set off nicely. Oh dear, that was a wayward paint stroke. The printing on this is really weird, like the grooves are really prominent. That's one of those areas that would have benefited from like a little bit of a sand down. It almost looks like a thumbprint. It's like whorls. 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 Coming along nicely. At the time, I thought that a felt pen spray brush toy was a weird present to get for my birthday one year, but it turned out great for spraying moss and aging effects on things. Yes! Always find a use. It's amazing the number of things where you think, well, that's a bit random, but as like an arty stroke crafty person, you're like, I can find a use for that. I do that with a lot of things. I can tell straight away, I don't know about you guys, I'd love to hear your opinions on that, but I can tell straight away whether or not I'll be able to utilise something. I might not necessarily know exactly what I'm going to use it for, but I can tell straight away whether it's a yeah or a nah. Like, don't throw that out, and it's like, I don't want that. What you do, like, because Mr. Jem will quite often ask me, do you want, the phrase is, do you want to keep this for anything? And I can usually give him an answer straight away. I'm like, yep, keep that please, or no, definitely don't want it, nah. And then he'll say, if I say yes, he'll say, what are you going to use it for? And I'm like, I don't know yet, but I'll use it. And most of the time I do, to be fair. I'm not really one for keeping a lot of I was going to say junk. Junk's the wrong word. A lot of bits and bobs. Again, you guys know I don't like having stuff and it not fulfilling its purpose. I hate that. And that goes for actual like art supplies as well. And I tend not to hold on to things if I'm not using them. I feel like these things were put on the planet for a purpose and they need to fulfill their lifelong ambition, and I feel bad if they don't. So I make sure they go to somewhere where they will. I would hate for an art supply to feel unfulfilled. To clean off my brush a wee bit, it's getting a bit grubby there. Starting to breathe a wee bit of life into this now. Oh, that's definitely a support that didn't come off. Oh no. Got it. This left me with a knobbly bobbly underside of my windowsill now though. Good grief. Oh jeez. That is a crafty characteristic. I always think about what I can use things for, and then if you were throwing out something that could become something cool. But I do tend to. Well, this is the thing, Europa. I am not a hoarder. In nature, I'm the opposite. I don't like clutter. So it's a very measured decision for me, but it's definitely something that I do. There's absolutely no doubt about it. A lot of arty crafty people though do have like more of a hoardy tendency. No, I don't mean like clinical hoarding or anything, but they have, you know, they have the sort of magpie tendencies. Whereas I'm actually the opposite. I'll only let it go so far, and I'm like, nope, because the more stuff I have around me, the more chaotic it feels and the more it stresses me out and I don't like it. I'm like, nope, make it go away. Right, that's fairly presentable, she says. I mean, like, we're basic stages here, but yeah, I'm fairly happy with that. So I'm just going to leave that there to air out and do its thing. That almost looks like metallic paint, doesn't it? That's weird. It's kind of cool, but it's weird. Yeah, so I'm going to take a wee break just now and go and give my hand a wee rest. And I think when we come back, we will maybe pick out some turquoisey blue colours for those toadstools. We could do that. I think that would be a nice thing to do. And if we could get the tops of these toadstools done and get a second coat on this door, I think we'll be doing fairly well. All the magpies in the chat. You can now have permission to talk about whatever you are having food-wise. Ulrika is here, so you can pester her and ask her what she's having. And I'll be back in just a wee minute or two, guys. Someone said bolognese. I am not a gatekeeper of the Italian things, but see, when it comes to sauce, fish finger. But I love fish finger wraps. That's something I have quite a lot. Bolognese is a type of ragu, yes, but it turns into just a ragu if you start chucking stuff in it. A friend explained it all to me once. It's all in the type of pasta, the type of sauce, and where the sauce is from. Yes, but there's very specific ingredients that make a sauce the way it is. If anyone has any basic understanding of cooking, there is a base that sauces are made from, and what you add to it changes the name of it. It's a bit like a bechamel, which is a basic white sauce. Depending on what you fling in it, it turns into something else. Tomato-based sauces are no different. But yeah, obviously I'm particularly protective of the bolognese because and I understand that it's something that's been very popularised in the UK and it's considered a staple. It's not, it is a staple for me, but it's sacred and it's specific. And the mama companion, like the Italian hands are gonna come out. Do you know what? Like, I've got no objections to it, and I'm very much a firm believer in do what you need to do and make it so that you want to eat it and it's tasty and it's nutritious. Like, I have no objections to that. The only objection I have is when people invite me for dinner, please don't cook me Italian food. Please just don't do it. I hate it. And it's usually lasagna or spaghetti bolognese, and I'm like, please just don't. Just, like, don't. Yeah. We have an Italian restaurant. It's actually the closest restaurant to us apart from our local pub, and it is owned by Italians, and I absolutely love going for dinner there. Our wedding anniversary is coming up and you're damn tooting I'm going there. And the very first time we went, we spoke to the owner's wife and got into the conversation, etc. And I said to her, I was like, you know it's right when I would be happy to bring my Italian grandmother here. Like, see if my Italian grandmother was still alive, she would have loved it. And she would approve. And I love going because it's good proper Italian food. Like, it really is. It makes me so happy. Yes, proper bolognese is different to what most people think of spag bol. Yes, and it's perfectly fine to have a modified version. Like, there's absolutely no issue with that. But just don't feed it to me. Don't make me eat it. Like, see if I see a courgette and a bolognese, I'm coming for you. Like, I'm coming for you. Oh, good God. My friend's missus is from an Italian family, so I understand. Oh, jeez, that's funny. We kind of have a running joke as well, is that if it's not bolognese unless it's been sitting on the stove for at least 3 hours, and it always tastes better the day after, and you leave it in the pot with the lid on the stove. Don't put it in the fridge, just let it sit there and ferment and have it the next day, and that's the way we eat it. Stir fry with some weird rice that is plant-based and much fewer calories than long grain rice. Hoping to finally get my 1.5 stone. Oh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. 1.5 stone. So for other people metrics, I'm trying to think what that is in proper people's money. So 1 stone at 14. Oh God, 14. £21. Courgettes have their placement on a bolognese, exactly. I feel very strongly about that. That's great news, Europa. I was going to say about 10 kilos, is that right? I'm rubbish with my like pounds to kilos conversion. I'm okay from stones and pounds into pounds, obviously. Yeah, 21 pounds, so about 10.7 kilos or something like that. Yeah, that is a significant amount. Well done. I know that's something you've been working towards. You've not lost it by accident, so congratulations. It's about 7 kilos. Yeah, I think you're right. Let's do some converting. I mean, this is the thing. Like, I really should know this because we weigh our cattle in kilos. And if we go to the doctor, we get weighed in kilos. But I'm still old school. I'm stones and pounds. Because I'm in my 40s and that's the way we grew up. So 21 pounds is 9.5 kilos. There you go. You struggled with the past half stone. Yeah. No, I get that. I completely understand that. Like, you guys know my weight loss has been so slow. I took a break in the middle, obviously, when the Mama James situation happened, but I didn't gain any weight in that time. But it's taken me 2 years. And I'm coming up on 60. Here we go again. I can get it back out. Give you actual like proper numbers because I know we've got a very mixed bag here. I'm coming up on £60, so that's 27 kilos, but it's taken me 2 years, and my weight loss is, I think it averages out at like half a pound every 2 weeks or something like that. But I am not in this now to get to a certain weight. I am doing what I'm doing because it's the way I want to live, and the weight coming off is secondary to that. Obviously, it's what I want. I don't want to be overweight. But it's, for me, it's not about that. It's getting myself into what was my old lifestyle before, like basically when I started the cave. I ate really well, and I was very fit at that point. I was much fitter than I appreciated, honestly. And that's just where I want to get back to, because now that I'm in my 40s, I feel like I do need to look after myself better, and just take care of myself because I'm worth it. We're all worth it. So, yeah. But the thing about it is as well, like I've still got such a long way to go. And people are noticing now I've lost enough weight that people are like, oh, my friends that we travelled down to the wedding with, I haven't seen the wife of that couple since we left the old cave. So that's been nearly 3 years. And she said to me later, like, she didn't obviously just want to come out and say it to me, but she's like, you've lost a lot of weight. And I was like, yeah, I have. And I was like, but the best thing is I've still got loads to go. I'm well over the halfway point now though, which is really nice. But I am under no illusions that there's still a long way to go, but it doesn't matter because that's not what it's for. It's about living the way I want to live. And the same goes for you, Europa. You've just got to stick in there, even if it's not coming off as quickly as you like. The alternative is you go back to the way you were before and you'll just continue to put on weight. And I don't know about you, but I don't like that alternative personally. Slow and steady, yep, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Well, that's it. And I think as well, like, see, going to the wedding, I knew, because I've been quite strict with myself. And although I rearranged my runs because I knew I was going to be away that weekend. So I still kept the consistency of the running. But I knew that the eating side of things was just going to go completely out the window. But I was 100% okay with it because you have to live your life like that's normal. And I knew that when I got on the scales, when I came back, that it was going to be a higher number. But one weekend doesn't undo 2 years of good eating habits and good exercising habits. That's not the way that it works. So it's fine. I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. I had far more to drink than I would drink normally. Like, that wasn't normal for me now, but it was fine. It was good. I enjoyed it. And that's, like, you have to be able to live your life and do these things. So it's, for me, the key is you don't see these things as like it's upsetting your routine or it's going to knock you off track. It's life. It's what you do after that. You get back to normal as soon as you possibly can and you just carry on as you were and things will continue. Pudding arms. I've noticed that as well though, Thea, and this is the thing, like I always say, don't rely on the scales all of the time because sometimes the scales are a liar. And I find that when things don't necessarily uh, look like they're progressing in terms of numbers on the scale, you tend to find that there's other things going on that you didn't think about or you didn't know about, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're like, oh, when did that happen? For me, and I nearly like this was a revelation and a half. The next time I buy my running bras, which are very specific and I have to replace them regularly because they literally and figuratively do a lot of heavy lifting, I'm gonna have to buy a new set and I'm gonna have to go down a cup size. That's absolutely insane. But it is a side effect of running because we do this motion when we run. All these muscles around here, they tone up and tighten up, so your bust doesn't actually get smaller, it's just supported better and held in better. I always talk about having a neater bust, it's not necessarily smaller, but I am actually going to have to go down a cup size, and the scales can say whatever they want. I don't care what the labels on the clothes say, but see that makes me so happy. So happy. Right, I'm just looking for some blue colours now. So I have got the I'm gonna give the Liquitex a bash and see how we go. So I've got the cerulean blue hue. I still want to call that cerulean. I'm never gonna get away from that. I've got some white for mixing as well. Maybe do like a wee gradient. I don't know the area, like the surface area that we're working on, I think it's too small to get like a proper gradient, but we could maybe do it with the blue and the white and see what happens. Yeah, if you don't do anything for a few days, don't fret about it. Just start again when you can without any. It's not even about starting again, it's just getting back to normal. You know, that's just the way it is. Rain! Thea's gonna run downstairs and go outside naked and go, woohoo! You don't even have to do that, you can go out on your balcony, can't you? Mm. Okay, let's see. I was just wondering if I had like even a pre-mixed, like a true green, because we could mix that in with some of this blue colour and maybe get more of a turquoisey colour. I do have this phthalo green, which, well, yeah, let's risk it for a biscuit, shall we? Why the heck not? I did have a turquoise. I used to have, it's this Liquitex soft body. I had a really nice like teal colour. I don't know where it's gone though. I think I bought a tube of it eventually. Good grief. Let me have another dig about in here. I've got muted turquoise. But there was like a teal, I don't know. Right, okay, let's just see how we go here. A little slip up or a wobble is okay, you just have to acknowledge it and try again. If I don't see the change on the scales, I remind myself of how far I've come. The other thing as well is, see, just like water retention and salt and stuff, like there's so many fluctuations. Like I weigh myself twice a week, but I don't actually pay attention to it. I just kind of look at it once a month and be like, okay, what's going on in the last like 4 weeks or so. Mary's going back to calorie counting. That's the best way for me to try and drop some weight. Yeah. Well, the saying that I'm used to is you can't outrun a bad diet. The food component is the main component that's going to help you if you even just maintaining your weight, not not necessarily to lose weight. And it's something, because I lost a lot of weight when I was in my 20s, my very early 20s, and I kept that off, but I used to run regularly and I still tracked my calories when I was at a healthy weight, so I was maintaining at that point. I used to just loosely, but I would write down what I was eating and work out the calorie content, because again, that was before we had apps and all this kind of stuff, like you had to do the work. But I did that Monday through to Friday, and then at the weekend I just did what I wanted, but on Monday I would go back to like a routine, and that worked really well for me. I kept the weight off long and weary for years and years and years. that was just what worked for me. But I will forever track what I'm eating, even if it is just loosely, and I find that that's the best way. But when I was at a healthy weight, I kind of like bounced up and down. There was like 5 pounds either way. You know, I would fluctuate back and forth depending on if I was training for a race. Obviously, like a couple of weeks before I was racing, I was at my lightest because I'd put loads of miles in or whatever. But there was like a bottom threshold as well. It's like, right, I need to make sure I eat enough so I don't drop below this because I need to have the energy to run. And I need to feel good and strong in myself as well. So it works both ways. But yeah, there was definitely like a window, I would say. But I knew even then, it's really easy, like hidden calories and stuff, and the weight creeps on, and it's very gradual, and you don't notice it. And before you know where you are, you've like gained 10 kilos, and you're like, well, when the hell did that happen? And I don't want to do that either. So I will absolutely. So Miri, you're absolutely spot on. I say, especially when you're in the position that you can't exercise traditionally. It's the way forward, and it's what's going to keep you where you need to be, opposed to yo-yo dieting or whatever. Your bottom has a threshold, but like my bottom seems to have disappeared, but that's another story entirely. I have a great diet, just eat too much. Well, that was kind of my problem as well, Mary. Jack Daniels and portion size was clearly an issue for me. Oh, this is a pretty colour, look. So what I'm going to do is, oh, the underneath's an absolute riot again. See, just because of the 3D printing part of it. Good Lord, this is going to be interesting. But yeah, I want to just catch this bottom edge. I can do the underneath part like properly in a minute. I'm not too bothered about the underneath part right now. There's another little support filament there. How dare you? I was gonna try and get a gradient with some white. I don't think I'm gonna do it on this first coat though, because it's too uneven. I was gonna catch that bottom edge, and while it's still wet, put the white in just now. But I think I'll just put a layer of this down for the moment, and then when we go for a second coat, we'll maybe work it then. Because that is, like you see, it is quite uneven. Yeah, right, I think that's probably a good shout. Oh, I've managed to get a little bit of brown on there. Boo. Can you see that? Oh, boo. Keeping a food diary is really helpful. Well, yeah, that's the other thing I was just going to say. Mary's talking about menopause. Your calorie requirements will change as you get older. Even if you've not changed anything yourself, your body's obviously changing. And you need to make sure that you're calculating accordingly, because that's one thing. I know that my calorie requirements are probably going to be very different this time round compared to when I was a healthy weight before, because I'm older and I have a sedentary job now, whereas before I had quite an active job. So my calorie requirements are going to be different once I get to a sensible or more sensible weight. I am so looking forward to maintenance calories though, because obviously I'm in a deficit just now because I'm trying to lose weight. I can't wait to eat like normal person's calories again. I'm a good way off that though. I'm going to have a long wait. But yeah, something to look forward to. Oh, that's a pretty colour. I like this. I think as well, Europa, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's weighing out the ingredients and getting a truly accurate count for whatever it is. Again, to be fair, I'm fairly good at eyeballing stuff, but periodically, especially with portion sizes for things like pasta and rice, every like 2 weeks or so, I'll eyeball it out and then stick it on the scale just to make sure that I am recording it accurately, because that's one of the things. Because I am absolutely 100% a fat pig. I have an amazing appetite and I can pack away like a dangerously large amount of food for the size of me. And that was part of my problem when I put on weight this time. So yeah, I try and keep myself accountable with that as well. But I find it very helpful. Some people find it really tiring and they don't like doing it, and it's complicated and it's this and that. But I actually find it the most helpful thing. Again, I like numbers and data though, and that's what, you know, I do for my job as well. Like I work with numbers and data all the time. So it's probably just as well that I like these things. It's helpful. Yeah, that's a good point, Ulrika, as well. Is timing when you. I'm very much now. My attitude now is because again, being a farmer's wife, you're kind of like railroaded into these, you know, like 3 meals a day. Everything runs like clockwork, and I was finding that, you know, times where I was making dinner in inverted commas, I actually just wasn't hungry and I was just eating for the sake of it. Um, so I'm actually going the opposite way now, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, just because the clock says it's lunchtime, you don't have to eat if you're not hungry. But by the same token, if your body's telling you it's hungry, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, bloody well feed it because it's telling you. So I'm trying to listen to my body a little bit better now. And again, running's really helpful with that discipline as well because you have to, otherwise you end up feeling really ropey, especially when you're into running longer distances, which I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting up that way. Um, so yeah, I think a lot of it as well though, and I'm sure for those of you that are trying to maybe drop a bit of weight, you know, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another, and that doesn't mean that it's wrong or not good. You have to find out what works for you, because that's the way it's going to be sustainable. And if you do lose weight, be able to keep it off for sure. And that's why I'm just like kind of like dancing to my own little tune, and it seems to be working really well. So I'm not complaining. But again, a lot of it for me, it's not actually about the weight. Yes, I was very unhappy with the way I looked when I was at my heaviest. I really was. I was very uncomfortable in my own body. Not just physically but psychologically as well. Like I didn't like the way that I looked. Um, but the main aim for me was more to get back running because I just love it. Like I just absolutely love it. And I will run for as long as my body will let me. Like I hope to be one of these like pensioners in my 80s overtaking these young folk at like 25. Like, that's the person that I want to be. So again, it's like the weight loss is kind of like a byproduct of that. As long as I can put one foot down in front of another, smash out like 6 miles or whatever, then yeah, I'm happy. Really happy. When I went on my long run, so Sunday is long run day, so that's when I start to extend my mileage and just do it a tiny wee bit at a time. My I usually have music to listen to, and when I'm on the road, I only have one earphone in. I don't know what was wrong with my earphones, but they literally just like died on me, and I was less than a mile into a 6+ mile run. So I was left with my own breathing and my footsteps and my thoughts for like 5 miles. Actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's been a while since I've not run with music. But I was like, oh, this is terrible. Like, I don't want to hear my feet going dump, 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 dump. So I started having a wee chat to myself. Like, I gave myself a pep talk. Um, and then just sort of started like a running commentary on this scenery. Like there's loads of little mental games you play with yourself, but I thought it's just as well that I'm rural and nobody can see or hear me because they'll think I'm absolutely mad as a box of frogs, wandering along talking to myself. Oh, jeez. It's kind of half the fun though. It's why I enjoy running as well because I don't see it. Like this morning, I was out really early this morning. It was like 5:30 this morning, and I did not see a single soul. Saw loads of wildlife, but I did not see a vehicle, a person, and that absolutely suits me down to the ground. Just peace to run, be myself, not worry about someone looking at me or judging me or whatever. I wouldn't care if they did, though, to be fair. But it's just very peaceful. Nice to have time to myself because that's like my me time as well. Yeah, I've seen the bone conduction headphones. I've tried a pair, Katara. Hello, by the way, I didn't know you were in here. Eh, I think if I was on a longer road run, I would use them. Um, just so that I didn't get bored, but it's not the same as having earphones in. And I've got loads of places that I can run where I can have earphones in. I mean, I run a lot of trails and things. But yeah, I was contemplating getting a pair anyway, again, just because I'm on those longer distances now and I'm going to be doing a bit of road running. So I'll probably get a pair. I know that the Shocks ones are the best ones on the market as well, so they're not that expensive either in the grand scheme of things. I have to say though, the bone conduction earphones have come a long way. They used to be absolutely terrible, and it's still like you're never going to get the same audio quality that you would get from an in-ear headphone, but that's a given. But I definitely think there's a balance, and a lot of the bone conduction headphones used to be absolutely terrible. Like you might as well not bother. You might as well sing to yourself and you get better better audio quality. I've just put together a new playlist. I'd been running on this. Well, I've got all my playlists are loaded onto my watch, so it's Amazon Music I use. It's not Spotify. But you can make your playlists up on Amazon Music and download them directly onto your watch, so that when you're out running, you don't have to carry a phone. And your earphones just Bluetooth to your watch. So I was like, yeah, it's time for a new playlist. I needed a longer playlist as well, again, because my duration is stretching out now as well. So I did a new playlist. So I had that one on Sunday and that was pretty good. And I always put it on shuffle because I like to be surprised. Can't deal with any of your stuff. Well, there's only certain ones that I find that stay in my ears, and the pair that I've had for ages. I've had them for like 10 years because they fit in my ears. And they're waterproof as well, which is very helpful in Scotland. Also, I've got really narrow ear canals as well. My right one, weirdly, is the one that pops out, and it happens, see, when I start to get really hot, so near the end of my run, and it must just be obviously everything expanding, and just like, it's like a cork, it just pops out. But they're, the ones that I use are over ear ones, so you stick the buds in, and then they've got a hook that goes around like your glasses, but they're joined by a cord at the back, so if you lose one, it's still attached to the other one, it just flaps about. But when I'm running on the road, bearing in mind the side of the road that we drive on, I take my left earphone out and I tuck it like under my bra strap, so it just kind of like flaps about there, but it's tucked in, and the cord goes round the back, and the one in this ear is still in because that's the side that's nearest the verge, away from the middle of the road, so I can still hear everything that's coming, because that ear's into the middle of the road, and that's just what I do. And I've done that for years. Done that for basically since I started running on roads. Right, okay. I've just been thinking of that. God almighty, Jem. I think that's probably a good colour. It's given us some nice contrast. For the actual greenery, so for these vines and these, what I'm going to make mossy parts, I will use a yellow based green, so more traditional green. So I'm kind of working on two colour palettes here. I've got my fantasy palette for the door, etc., and then I've got more of a neutral palette for the natural parts, which kind of makes sense. So that's kind of where I'm heading with that. So I want to leave that to dry now. Pop this out. We just make sure I clean this off. I'm going to go back to this pink and see if I can get another layer on the door. We'll see how that goes. And I think that'll probably take us to the end of the stream today. Well, see, I think it'll look much nicer once it's had a second coat on it. Well, it's like I've got different headphones for different things. So, being a chronic not sleeper, I've got a little set of the flat, like they're teardrop shaped ones, so that when you've got your head on the pillow, so they're in ear but they're not attached to anything. But it also means that if they fall out during the night, you're not going to injure yourself on them. You just have to find them in the bed in the morning. And then I've got what I call my cans, so the big over ear ones. I use them for cleaning, dancing around the house. I put them on when I'm painting and drawing sometimes as well. Or if I just want really loud, like bass junky music, which is I am a bass junkie. Anything with a good beat and good bass, I'm in. So I use those for that, and then I've got running headphones as well. It's kind of a standing joke in our family because Papa Gem's the same, and we are a bit of like audiophiles. So yeah, we've got headphones for everything. So we were comparing how many sets of headphones we actually owned, and the number is obscene for both Papa Gem and I. Right, let's get this second coat on, see what we can do. I feel like I want to use a bigger brush, but I can't get into the smaller areas with the bigger brush. Maybe we can just switch between the two and see what happens. Now that's interesting. That's not really doing much. Oh, it is. When I see it on the camera, it is. Okay. I have one. Oh, I forgot about my gaming headphones as well. Yeah, I've got separate headphones for gaming. I've also got separate headphones that I use just for my Switch. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm trying to think how many sets of headphones I've got now, actually, because that number has changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 sets of headphones. The security man was there, didn't sing again. Well, that's the thing, like, see when I'm out running, I have a wee dance to myself and everything, when I'm doing the longer, slower miles, whatever I'm listening to, like, I dance along, and if someone passes me, they must think I'm an absolute lunatic, but I don't care, like, I actually don't care. I do what I have to do to get myself through a run, and when things get tough, I do have a wee chat to myself. Give myself a wee pep talk. It's vitally important. So, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what people think. Couldn't give a monkeys. I've started running some inclines as well, like proper, and the hills are fairly steep round here, and I was a wee bit scared to begin with, but I'm fit enough now that I'm starting to incorporate a little bit of that into my running, and one of the routes that I go, so I have like a trail run that I do, and there's very little road. It's mostly through the woods, and unfortunately, within the first mile, there is a particularly steep part. And when I get ready, I turn a corner and the hill's like right in front of you. And when I get there, I always clap my hands and go, right, Jem, come on, let's go. There's a row of cottages there, and I'm pretty sure someone somewhere must be like, that woman's like lost her marbles, like she talks to herself every time she goes up there. But it helps, it does help. I've just realised I've put a blob on my knob. I've got a blob on my knob. It's because I'm using a bigger paintbrush. God damn it. Yeah, I'm going to have to switch to the small brush for this. Cal's always the weirdo that's talking to herself. I talk to myself all the time because I'm on my own in the house most of the day. I do thinly veil it as talking to the dogs, to be fair, but I'm actually talking to myself. It's like I say, a running commentary. It's funny. Oh, this is extremely messy. I'm not happy with how the door's going at all. I'm not happy with the way the paint's going down either. It just doesn't seem to be sitting as well as the brown did. Ooh, that was a good paint stroke. Now we assume that they're on the phone. The right maximum effort. With me, it's breathing. When you're running hills, your breathing's going to be laboured, but it can be laboured and controlled. Those two things can be true at the same time. And I'm like, right, control your breathing. There's a little incline as well just before I get back to the house. There's basically like a dip in the road. But by the time I get there, I've got nothing left. I always make sure I've got literally nothing left, because otherwise, what's the point? And I usually have to have a wee chat to myself there as well. Be like, come on, you've only got like 0.3 of a mile to go. Get your finger out, move your legs, move your arms, keep going. Come on, Jim. You talk to YouTube. Especially when you're watching a Let's Play. Like, don't go through the door, you're going the wrong way. Ah, that's funny. I think I might do that as well. There's another one for those of you that are gamers. See, when you're playing something and your character gets injured or falls, do you go, ow? Because I do that. Or sometimes, like if someone's creeping after you, like, don't do that, don't do that. And you're like, oh, how dare you? I randomly exclaim at things. If I keep dropping something, I'll tell it off. My other favourite one is, especially if I'm like switching between games, if I'm maybe playing 2 or 3 different games at the same time, and I hit the wrong button, the first thing I do is go, oh, wrong button, dickhead. Hi, Black Rose, how are you? I can't help it as well, I do it all the time. We had there was a couple of us playing Phasmophobia at one point, and that was just not long after I'd hurt myself. So instead of playing keyboard and mouse, I was playing with a controller, and I didn't know the buttons. I swear blind everyone else was just like, Jem doesn't know what she's pressing. I'm like, oh, that's the wrong button. Oh, damn it, that's the wrong button. Two things I want to do. I'd love to play some more Phasmophobia, especially now that I can play keyboard and mouse. That would be lovely. I'd also really like to finish Split Fiction. Thea, looking at you. I think we're quite close. Like, I don't think we've got much left to do. I'm not entirely sure though, so we need to figure that out. Okay, that's looking a bit more even. It does look very red, but I promise you it's very pink. Pink. I don't know if these windows need another coat or not. What do you think about the window frames? Yeah, we totally need to sort that out, because we've still got, what's the other one? It Takes Two. We've got that to play as well. And if Split Fiction's any indication, I know Split Fiction was made after It Takes Two, but it's been very enjoyable. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, well, yeah, Katara, Thea and I have been playing that together, and we think we're quite near the end. I don't think we're like complete, like past the point of no return end game, but I think we're quite close. It Takes Two is so much fun. Yeah. Where are we? I can't even remember where we are, Thea. Can you remember where we stopped? Because it's been ages since we've played. I'm wondering if I should start. Do you think I should do these steps the same colour as the frames? I'm not really sure. I was gonna go for. I don't know what I'm gonna go for, actually. Yeah, no, you can't remember either. You can't remember. to love all these chats. Grey for the steps. Well, there's some stones at the back here, Jan, so I was kind of thinking that too. And maybe we could do the outside frame the same colour. That's a good idea. But do the actual step. Yeah, right, let's do that. Woo! That's a good shout, Jan. Right, I think what I want to do then is I will just get a coat of this colour on all of it, and then I'll put grey over the top in these indents. I think that's probably a good idea. So I would have... I'm trying to tilt this at an angle so you can see what I'm doing, but so that I can see what I'm doing. So I would have like the steps outlined, you know, as if they were like proper. Just get this down here. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Oh, god damn it. I've got to concentrate. Subnautica 2. Thea, I don't know if you would like Subnautica. It's very claustrophobic. And there's, yeah, I don't know. I think you would find it quite stressful, honestly. I played Sub-Zero first. That was the first one I played and I loved it. And then I went back and played the original. I haven't started 2 yet. I'm just finishing up Power Washer 2. I finished the main career story, so I'm just playing like the add-on packs just now. I also got Librarian yesterday. I don't know if any of you have played that. Oh my god, if ever a game was right up my street. Basically, all the books from a library have been dumped out on the floor of the library and you've got to put them all back. And I freaking love it. And see, once I'm finished this stream, that is what I'm going to play. I'm kind of just taking that as a bit of an interim just now. But Subnautica 2 is on the list. It is still in early access though, so I'm not in a completely massive rush to play it. It's on Steam, Thea. So I might hold off in Subnautica for a while. I've got other things that I want to play. I've got so many things I want to play. New 007 game. Haven't touched that yet either. 100% playing that. So many games to play. Opening Steam. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, the people that I've spoken to, Cal, I'm sure you'll probably back this up. The people that I've spoken to that have played it have said that if you didn't know it was an open access, you would play it and think it was a complete game, but just like a short game, which is really good. I mean, I think they did a great job with the first two as well. But I say I'm not in a rush for it because there's other things I want to play anyway. So another game that's like Subnautica, again, if anybody you're a fan of that kind of thing, Planet Crafter's quite good. It's very similar vibes. I feel like it's a bit emptier than Subnautica, but it's definitely worth a bit. It's basically Subnautica on land. I had quite good fun with that. I liked that. Okay, right. I'm gonna stop there. My hand is like actually throbbing now. I just want to do something with this step though. I was gonna try and take this muted turquoise. Oh, there we go. And just put a coat of that down. I'll probably put something more greyish over the top of the actual steps, but tidy up the arcane library, yes. Paralives is so good. If you want to play the latest Indiana Jones, I have a physical and I'm stuck on the prologue, so I can send. I would love to do that, Jan, and I will love to help you out as well. I haven't played an Indiana Jones game for like ever. I remember playing like the original Indiana Jones games on the PC. Build mode has a boatload of bugs. This is Paralives, but when it works, it's superb. But the gameplay's a bit lacking at the moment. Well, again, you've got to remember that is also in early access. I think they've done extremely well given the size of the dev team and what they've actually put into the game from the get go. They've obviously focused on the building side of it for obvious reasons because that was everyone's complaint about Sims. Yeah, Supermarket Chaos is not, it's like a cheap, lazy equivalent, or like, yeah, it's not great. Let me know when you just send it. I tell you, I'm assuming obviously if it's you, Jan, it's on the Switch. Yeah, just like if you want to fire it up to me, by all means. By all means. We can do it. Can you not? Can you? The thing is, though, you can't play it without putting the cartridge in, though. Is that not like I know? Obviously, it's downloaded onto your Switch, but you wouldn't be able to play it when I had it. The time it takes to do anything is too slow. Yeah, no, I definitely marry, but I think the build mode's really good. Crime scene cleaner. But this is the thing though, see things like Power Washer, that is not something I would ever, ever, ever thought I would enjoy playing, and I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. It's ridiculous, but everyone's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, you have to play it to understand. But again, it's back to this, especially if there's evenings where I haven't slept well, the next day I'm really tired. And by the time I come to evening time, like we eat quite late. See, after that, I don't have the brain power for anything. And something like pressure washer, it's so, so good. It's so, so good. Like sometimes you just need that therapeutic, slightly mindless gameplay, and it's so relaxing. See, the shushy noises are like chef's kiss. They're so relaxing. That is a game you should definitely play with earphones in. And in the new one, you get to pet the cats. Oh my goodness, that looks almost the same colour as the. Oh right, okay, we can't be doing that. Right, let's just make a traditional grey. Let's get some black out. Oxide black, that'll do. Tiny Bookshop. I quite like Tiny Bookshop, but I found it repetitive. Like just a bit too repetitive. I know all of these types of games are repetitive, but I found it just a bit too repetitive. It was fun for a little while though. One game that I will never stop recommending is Stray. You play as a cat. That game is just my only gripe about it is it was too short. Like, I would have loved to had another like 5 or 10 hours in that game. It is such a pretty game, and it's one of those games that I want to go back and play a second time. It's just so, so good. Yeah, House Flipper was what got me onto Power Washer Pro. That was how that started. Again, I enjoy the. I actually enjoy pressure washing in real life as well. I would like to point that out. Again, because we've got cows, it's something that we do quite a lot. I actually like it. I find it very therapeutic, but I like it even better sitting at home and not having to get wet and smelly doing it and dirty. Unsurprisingly. I think part of the thing with Stray is I'm always looking for something a wee bit different. I've been gaming since I was very, very small. And a lot of the games are much of a muchness, although there's something slightly different about them that, they're most of them are the same games. And Stray I don't know, it just tickled a, oh my goodness, that was ridiculous. It just tickled a sweet spot for me. I really, really enjoyed it. A lot of the time for me in games, though, is about atmosphere, and that's why I like Subnautica. There is a very specific vibe to it, and I love it. Yeah, I've done all the DLC for the original Power Washer. I haven't played Minecraft for ages. That's one of those games I kind of go back to sometimes as well, like just for a giggle. Again, it's got a certain vibe, hasn't it? Right, I'm calling it quits there in terms of what we're doing. So we've made some progress. So next time, when are we coming back? I think in the meantime, I'll put a second coat on the toadstool heads, but I think that's all I'm going to do. And when we come back in our next Wednesday live stream, we'll get the rest of the base colours on so that we have a fully coloured mug and we can go from there. Euro Truck Simulator. Oh. Jan keeps drowning in Subnautica. That's funny. Ah, jeez. Right, guys. Well, I hope you've had an enjoyable afternoon. I most certainly have. And I feel as if I've been a little bit productive as well, which is nice. And it was really weird during June. Like I kind of missed just the cave and the live streams as well. Like it's weird not doing it when you're used to doing it. But I feel like arting has been like really, really neglected. And as I say, this month it's something that I want to remedy. I haven't figured out quite how I'm going to do it. But I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking just like section off 30 minutes of my day. Like I can find 30 minutes in a day to just do something. So can you hear that? He's dreaming. He's twitching his little foot. I always wonder if he's chasing sheep. I think he's done. Okay, guys, well, I hope you enjoy it on that note. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. It's really nice to be back, and there will be hopefully a video at some point at the weekend. I'm hoping to get back into that tomorrow. Get back into the habit of filming, editing, and all the rest of it. I've got like 2 half videos sitting there, so I really should do something with that. That is the plan, and I'll see you all really soon back in the cave for a video, or if you want to come in next Wednesday for the live stream, we're here next Wednesday as well. Pink order hands for everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to everyone who's popped in, and thank you in advance to those of you who watch on replay as well. We'll see you all soon, everyone. Take it easy, okay? All the pink order hands. We'll see you later.